Hey everybody, I hope you're having a great weekend, and as always on Sunday I just love to meditate and have my own spirit provoked on what's to come and have a vision for next week. And many of you have inboxed me and asked me, why do I smile all the time, or how can I have a good relationship, whether it's with my kids or in a marriage. And I've done counseling for decades. And one of the biggest things or biggest triggers, in my opinion, is when people, whether it's in business, whether it's with your children, whether it's in a friendship or a marriage, is defensiveness. And I believe with all my heart that it's a trigger from a past relationship, trauma. And being defensive is when you get overwhelmed with emotion, usually in fear. And all I can say is that defensiveness focuses on more of the meanness instead of the we-ness. Defensiveness creates isolation. It truly separates compassion, intimacy, and it isolates from your partner. So instead of creating unity, it creates division, even if that person wants very badly to have that relationship. So if I could provoke each and every one of your spirit, is that you? Maybe God has brought you someone to get under your skin, to, with love, possibly provoke a trigger, so that it comes out of quarantine and it's healed. Before you can love yourself or love anyone else, you need to be whole. You need to forgive yourself, forgive other people. But all I can say is that I know so many couples and so many business relationships that you get into a mind-provoking, wonderful conversation and a person goes on defense. Once a person goes on defense, there's nothing you can say to change their thought process, because they're living in fear and they're trying to deflect that fear by a trigger that possibly was caused years ago. So my hope and my prayer for each and every one of you that are either focusing or experiencing this in a relationship, a marriage, a business, put your hands up and surrender. Give it to the throne. And understand that sometimes amazing people are brought into your life to get you unstuck, to get you out of your comfort zone, to make you feel uncomfortable at that moment, as long as it's coming from a source of love and not judgment. As long as it's trying to truly elevate you to that best version of yourself. There's been people in my own life that have triggered past trauma in my childhood. But I believe that God brings people for many reasons. Some is to love you, some is to heal you, some is to leave you, some is to teach you. And life is way too short. So all those good people out there that have been hurt, that have triggers, that have been through trauma, I hope and I pray with all my heart that you have a breakthrough this week, that you truly surrender to something bigger than self. Because as I said before, when you truly are living in defensiveness, you're focused on meanness instead of we-ness. Something to think about as we go through this week. Because I've seen some of the most amazing relationships have that one toxic ingredient of being defensive, and the relationship and the conversation goes sideways. Have a blessed week.